Before we start the video, I just want to give you a wonderful thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because of you guys, we have now hit the threshold of 1,000 subscribers. For those of you who don't know what that means I can monetize the channel. As with my previous channel, everything I make in this channel goes back into the channel. And the best part is I don't have to buy any gear because I already did that with the last channel. So this is just everything goes into things like for example, giving away 100 gold for you guys, our $100 worth of gold to one lucky winner. Won't be on this video, but in a video coming soon, within the next week and a half, I'll put a video out that'll explain the details on how to get 100 gold. But just to give you a preview of what that means. So I'm going to shrink myself down here. This is what we're going to do. Not on this video, on a different video. I'm going to ask for the ID and the server ID. These two pieces are here. You can even get it copied immediately to the clipboard. We're going to get you to post that in the comments. I'm going to do a comment picker, and then one of you luckily is going to win. And what that is the great thing is this W Gold Shop with Coda or Smile1. I can actually purchase this and use your guys' code to put it directly on your account. So there'll be no shenanigans. There'll be no way to cheat the system. I'll remove duplicate comments. So stay tuned for a later one. But again, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for your support, and hopefully we'll hit our next let's make 2,000 our next goal. So at 2,000 we'll do it all over again. So let's get this one really quick. Let's get through to 2,000 as quick as possible so I can give it away another $100 worth of the gold from either Coda or Smile1. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. Now let's go on with the show. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper, and this is another video on Watcher of Realms. There's going to be no music right now because I'm having some problems with Artlist continually wanting to claim my music, even though I pay for their service. So we're just going to do a one-day dispute. We're gonna rebel against the man. Anyway, we're going to do a faction trial series, and the first one we're going to do is Trial of the Northerners. I'm going to put out, I think, hopefully short videos to kind of explain how I tackle these, how you may tackle them, some possible alternates that you can have, and kind of where the linchpin is, because a lot of these stage 12s are really linchpins. They are not just a gear check, but even more so a champion check. And this is the first one we're going to do. We have the Power of Dominance off, as you can see. And this is the team I put out there. And this is pretty much the team you got to use. Some things you're going to want to probably have is the Realm tier. You're going to want to have a very fast Mari. I currently have her at 517 total speed. I obviously Ardea is not critical, but you got to have another source of damage for the upper right, and you've got to have a Lord, obviously. I'm using King Hearts. I actually originally passed this without King Hearts, so you can definitely use Isolde for this if you need to. And then you're going to need another single target damage dealer for the upper left. You're going to need tanks in two of those spots, which we have here. And then the craziness of it all is you got to deploy 3 mages, and you can see we have 3 mages here. This is the third mage. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. If you check this, there's only 3 available. So if you want to finish Faction Wars Team Stage 12 Northerners, you have to have Shamir, you have to have Nocturne, and you have to have Mari. So I'm going to show you how we go through this. I almost thought about doing auto fight, because it's been so long since I've set this up, but we'll try to set it up. This might be take 30 by the time you actually see it. First thing we do, we're going to drop down Valkyria. She's going to take care of him, but we need help for this first one, and that's where Mari comes in. Mari's going to help us with 2 different sections here, so timing's probably a little bit important, but just making sure you keep an eye. Remember, when he explodes, he kills people with him, so you don't want Mari on this front tile. She's got to be parallel to Valkyria. I'm using, I think it's the Tear of Twilight on Valkyria. I'll show you everyone's stats afterwards. Some pretty good gear. Now up top is where Brokir is coming into play. Brokir, of course, is the best tank in the game. And I think that's fairly objective. He's going to be able to hold off this until we can get the heals up. And there's going to be another little secret when the fourth guy comes up. He's going to use... He's got that survivability piece that's going to come right here, right? So he's going to survive, keep himself alive. But you also see there's a fourth one coming. So that's going to be a bit of a problem for us, potentially. But what we're going to do, because we need to get Ardea down, we're gonna like hold on, Brokir. Hold on, Brokir. My God. All right, now he's going to be in range. We're going to pop her ult, and that's going to give us just the breathing room we need here for this first round to be able to do some serious damage and allow Brokir to survive long enough that we can kill them. Swing. There it is. Done. Dead. So that's good. That's handled. Now we're going to pop Valkyra's ult again. At the same time, we're going to put down Olag. Olag's going to be the top boss, along with Nocturne and Midan, or Maiden, taking care of business there. Okay, we're going to get heals. Now, keep in mind, this is important. The terms, the conditions of success are core, 3 core intact, clear the stage, and put 3 mages. And that's going to come important later. But for now, let's just consider what's going to be best for clearing these stages. Olag is such a beast up here because he regens his shield enough to deal with these guys. There'll be a point when he starts dealing with multiple that we're going to pop an ult to help him out here, because there's obviously more going to show up. And if you don't have Ardea, any damage, you've got a tile here and a tile here, these 2 tiles. You can use either of those tiles to help his survivability. So I think we're going to pop Nocturne's ult now. We're also going to pop Midan just in case. I'm just a little bit concerned about Olag surviving, right? Nocturne's going to take care of business because there's some hits there. So once you get rid of those 2, not a problem. These 2 are much easier to deal with. You're going to see they're going to be dealt with pretty frickin' quickly. And that's the first cycle. Now we're at 12 of 31. That's important to remember because, again, okay, now we're going to pop Valkyra's ult to deal with this bottom row. That tier is so strong. You see how much more she's hitting in the back row. Even though the front row is getting debuffed, she's still hitting harder in the back row. So now she killed them all. We can actually lift her. There's a reason. And now we got to deal with top. We don't lift Mari. That is a very key component here for safety. And it depends on your gear, how strong your team is, whether or not you need Mari in this position. But we're going to use her the same way we did the first round of this, because now there's 6 coming. So we're going to let the first 2 go. Ardea is going to do her thing. Now, it is unfair. I do have an A1 Ardea, so she's going to probably make pretty good time. We're going to use his ult to save him here. And as soon as those 4 are coming close, I want all 4, I want all 4, I want all 4. Boom. We're going to hit the ult, and that's just going to give us some breathability there. Ardea is going to clean it up, and dead. Bob's your uncle. So very good. Now we can lift her. And because we lifted her, remember, we got to have Shamir. We got to have that 3rd mage. So now there's where we put up the 3rd mage. We're also going to take Valkyra, and we're going to put her here for some extra oomph on this bottom row. Boom, they're dead. We're at 26 of 31. We could lift everyone now. If we really wanted to, we can lift Ardea. I don't think we're going to get back around. Oh, I have that stupid gear piece on her. So the answer is no, we will not. Okay, we're going to pop Nocturne here. We're not even going to mess around with it. We're going to pop Midan's ult. And we're going to pop Valkyra's ult. That way we don't even have to mess around. We can hold on Olag here. I was gonna say, sorry, King Hearts, in case that there was some kind of failure here, but there wasn't. There you go, easy enough. The key here is knowing the timings on when to lift your champions and knowing when to drop Shamir. I mean, I suppose if you needed to, you could use Shamir in that Mari spot. He doesn't do the debuff, but he does do the slow. Would it work? I think it's easier. You're probably not going to want to build out Shamir anyway. So in this particular case, if you're not building out Shamir, you don't have an A5 Shamir, which is where he really actually starts to shine. But there you go. There's the one Trial of the Northerners. Let's go back to the heroes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Just come on now. Let's go back to the heroes. We'll take a look again at all the Northerners, and we'll talk about which ones are possibly going to be helpful for you. Obviously, I think Valkyra is a must. I have not seen nor tried any version of that bottom row that doesn't involve Valkyra. Thankfully, she's among legendaries, somewhat attainable, more so. The problem is they explode, so you can't use Falcia. You can't use, I mean, anyone. I don't think there's anyone that's going to be able to do the damage as her. Technically speaking, maybe you could use Ardea in that bottom row, but I feel like the burst that she gets to do, because if it's Ardea, you might have to heal her. If she heals, she doesn't do as much damage. It's hard to say whether or not Ardea can deal with that. And arguably, it's going to be very few accounts that have an Ardea and not a Valkyra, sorry. So Valkyra is pretty much a must. Mari is a must, and because she's a must, you might as well use her how we were shown there, protecting both that top ring when you're first setting up, also depending on your gear check, when you get the 6 coming in on that second wave, she's going to be pretty integral for that. After that, you could lift her up, obviously. I do definitely say Valkyra. I needed to lift Valkyra the first time in order to defeat that top row. In fact, I lifted everyone up, and I think I even dropped, I feel like I dropped Ardea or someone else down as well to be able to finish that top left corner. Olag, clearly the best for that top left corner. A secondary healer, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Madan's who you got. I haven't tried Rourke. I don't know where Rourke would succeed. He can't take damage the way that Brokir, Hearts, Isolde can, but he does have some more damage. I just feel like he would die. Maybe if you made him in sort of a hybrid defense build, but I just feel like he's not going to be there. Maybe that's someone you can try in a defensive position on either of those two slots. Maybe that's something I'll try down the road. Same with Estrid. She can do great damage, but the survivability issue of fighters and being able to stand up to that damage is suspect. And obviously Voroth is arguably a poorer version of both for his survivability. Eveline, I've never tried it. Maybe where Brokir is with crazy good gear and damage mitigation, Eveline might be able to stand up to that kind of punishment. And of course, for healers, you can definitely use Lightlock if you don't have Madan. Although I think you get Madan, don't you? I feel like she's the hero you get in day 1 or something. Other options, definitely Maul. You could probably help with a pushback if you're having problems with that top right. With your tank survivability, you could possibly drop a Maul down. It would require some team juggling, but if you needed that to push them back to give you that extra survivability, arguably it could work. I have not tried that either, to be fair. Gwendolyn up in that corner, maybe putting shields on a tank that if you didn't have Olag or you had to use Olag on the right hand side, for example. Maybe King Hearts doesn't quite survive the same way on the left, so maybe Gwendolyn there might be useful. Same with Sadie. I mean, she is a healer per se. She can mitigate some of that damage. She might be able to get you through that. But it's pretty tough. I think the hardest thing is if you don't have Nocturne. Well, I mean, if you don't have Nocturne, you can't finish it because you need the 3 sorcerers. I'm trying to think. The hardest one I'm finding to replace is Ardea. Maybe Shamir, you can get enough damage. I feel like the survivability of your tank putting up that much of a beating might be an issue because I don't think Maul or Shamir can quite offer enough damage to get rid of him in time. But I would say your next best bet is probably Maul to be able to help with that damage. I can't see anyone else being in that. Let me know in the comments down below. Is there anyone you've thought of? And also, a wildcard tank might be Corridor. I didn't have him when I finished Northerners. Northerners was one of the first ones I finished. So, I mean, feasibly, arguably, this guy could tank in. He's a defense-based tank. He does a little bit more damage. He does have an extra survivability piece. He does have some more damage. You put him in that defense artifact. You get some good defense gear with maybe some damage, additional damage piece. But he increases the block by 2. So during his defense, you could deal with those 6 that come down. Assume you can get him and keep him alive. That might be a little bit of a question, but it would be interesting to see. Maybe that's, again, something we could try in a later date. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. But there's my synopsis of the Northerners. It really is a champion check. Valkyra, the 3 mages, a must. 2 tanks, a must. Healers, you've got some leeway on the different healers and where you place them. I would argue Brokir's probably... I think Olog is definitely needed. Brokir, could you replace Brokir? Probably on that top one. If you timed the alt a little bit better to make sure he doesn't take too much damage, you could arguably... And Isolde can definitely step in for King Hearts. King Hearts was just there for the lead. You could use King Hearts, though he doesn't put up to damage quite the same way either. So again, if you're using Isolde and or King Hearts... in that top left, because you have to use Olog on the right hand side, then just keep in mind that you have to time Nocturne's ult so that he's not taking damage. That's all I got for you today. I hope this was useful. I will be going through all the factions, so I'm going to start a playlist with this. This will be the first one, but we'll make sure we get a playlist for each and every one of them. Finally, I want to please, once again, thank you for the 1,000 subs. Like I said at the start of the show, I appreciate you for your support. We're going to be giving away some gold soon. Stay tuned. I originally said I was going to do live. We're not going to do live, but we'll talk about that at a later date. So again, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.